I've been a coach since April 20th of 2012. I'm currently a diamond coach, and I have a nice little team going here locally, and we've really found a lot more people, so this is good. We're growing every time. This is like my 4th or 5th Super Saturday that I posted, so we're learning new stuff every time. Last time I didn't do this live, and we'll try. Well, we may not do them now because the lights are all crazy, but we can watch the video. That's the most important part. So we have some special things today. We have a couple of speakers. We actually have 4 speakers today. These 4 speakers have really great stories. 2 of them are going to give us like their transformation and weight loss success story, which are both totally amazing. I'm going to just give you a little story on one of them that I just met today for the first time. Her name is Amy, and she found me on Facebook, sent me a message and said, my name is Amy, and I moved into your area, and I want to attend your Super Saturday. And I was like, okay, so I gave her the information, and I went to her Facebook page, and I stalked her, like we all kind of do, right? Checked her out, see who she was. And I noticed her profile picture was her with these big, giant 21-day fix containers. And I was like, what? I want some of those. Like, where did she get this done? I've never seen those at Summit. And so I went and I clicked on her cover photo, and it was her and a big group of people with Carl at bottom at the 21-day fix infomercial shoot. And I was like, oh my God, this girl was in the infomercial and she didn't even tell me? So I messaged her and I was like, so I totally stalked the page and I see you were one of the infomercial people. And she's like, oh yeah. I was like, can you please talk at Super Saturday? Like, I can't have you as a guest there and not hear what you have to say. So she was kind of my late addition to the speaker guest, but I'm super excited to hear her because we haven't had something like that locally ever speak for us. With a lot of success stories, but I was just kind of blown away. She has done several rounds of 21-day fix, and she has a great story. So anyway, she's going to be our first speaker this morning. So if you can give a round of applause for Amy Skinner. And the little guy.
Hi, I'm Amy Skinner, and I started the 21-day fix back in March of last year. I started at 167 pounds, and I felt like I was overweight. I thought, okay, I know that my clothes don't fit right, but I'm a mom. I have 2 kids, and I had two with C-sections. So I was like, look, this is just me. This is just what I look like. I'm 167 pounds. This is just who I am. But I started to realize I was getting bigger. And I said, well, now I have options. So I can go out and I can buy bigger clothes, or I can try to do something about it now. Well, the clothes sound like the easy way out, right? And I said, well, let me do some research online. So I typed in my information into the BMI calculator online, and it had said, according to your height and your weight, where you stand. I didn't in a million years think I'd be normal. I knew that I was kind of overweight. But the BMI calculator told me that I was obese. So that was like really shocking and reawakening. And I thought, okay, something's got to give. I have to change. I joined a local Facebook fitness group, and there I met my now coach. She introduced me to the 21-day fix. For those of you that don't know, the 21-day fix is a 21-day program that focuses on nutrition and exercise. So for 21 days, you're learning about portion control, and you're doing 30-minute daily workouts. So I started with that. I said, I really have nothing to lose. Let me give this a shot, because my alternative is completely crazy. I actually wanted to show you my child's something. These are the jeans that I was wearing the day that I made that decision. So to give you a comparison of what that looks like, I'm going to show you. So this is what I was. This is what I had decided. Now you have to imagine that when I was wearing these on the phone with my coach, I needed bigger ones. because these were too tight. And obviously, I loved the 21-day fix. It absolutely positively changed my life. It definitely gave me a better understanding of what I should be eating and what I shouldn't be eating. Working out is something that I never did before. I never worked out a day in my life. I wasn't a fitness fan. I never jogged or ran, never joined the gym. To this day, I still never set foot in the gym. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm with my kids all the time. All the time. I don't have time to go to the gym. So for 30 minutes a day, that's my time. That's the time that I've dedicated to myself. And I had initially thought when I started this, is that selfish? I mean, I am supposed to be taking care of my children, and now I'm going to be focusing on myself. Is that okay to do? Is that okay is that okay as a mom to just neglect your children for half an hour a day? But it is. It's not only okay, it's really healthy. I mean, for 30 minutes a day, that's my time for myself. And I'm teaching my children something, something very valuable, that it is okay to take time, and that your health is important. So I had succeeded. I lost about 9 pounds my first round. I did 5 continuous rounds of the 21-day fix. I lost 36.4 pounds my first 5 rounds. Thereafter, I tried a program called PIO. I did 1 round of that, and immediately went right back to the 21-day fix. I love it. I love it. 30 minutes a day, I'm telling you, I love it. I absolutely love it. So obviously I've lost more than 36.4 pounds. To date, from March of last year to today, I've lost a combined total of 50 pounds. And I think one of the best questions that people ask are, how many rounds have you done to lose that 50 pounds? So I had lost the 36.4 in the 5 continuous rounds. I did 1 round of PIO. And after that, when I started, I don't know. And I think that's the greatest answer. I can't tell you how many rounds I've done total, because it has truly become my lifestyle. Can you imagine that it's not a diet? You don't want to do a diet, because if you do a diet, you're going to lose the weight, you're going to go back to your old ways, you're going to go back to your old self. I don't know how many rounds, because this is my life. I do this every day, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Can you share about being a mom on that commercial?
So I had been reached out to by Beachbody, and they loved my results. They loved all my before and after pictures, and they really wanted to get in touch with me and see if I'd be willing to participate in the 21-day fix commercial. First, I thought it was a joke. No, come on. But they were very serious, so serious that they were willing to fly me out and participate in the shoot. I joined a bunch of other people there, and it was just so empowering and so amazing to meet so many other people, because it shows that I'm not an isolated person who just had fabulous results. There's so many others. I can't wait for you guys to see this infomercial. It's going to air very soon, and there's so many other people that have such great success with this program. That experience for me was so amazing. My kids, this one is going to be 2, coming up in March. My other one in the back, he's going to be 4 in July. Prior to me being flown out for this commercial, I had never been away from my children for more than 3 hours. Their entire lives, I've never been away from my children for more than 3 hours. So not only was this an exciting trip for me, but it was the first time I was away from my children. First I thought, again, is this a selfish decision? Is it okay for me to take this time? And then when I got to the hotel room and I saw that tub, I said, oh, my children. I loved it. I loved every moment of it. It was so amazing. And I can't wait for everybody to see this infomercial, because everybody has their own unique reason that they started, and their own journey and their own story. And was it easy? Did I just lose this weight? Like, no, of course not. I'm somebody that had 0 fitness, and you can imagine what I ate before I started this. It was absolutely insane. And it just shows you that you can do anything. You can have anything. How bad do you want it? So I'm going to tell you that, I really wanted to lose this weight. I really wanted to be, quote unquote, normal. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be able to keep up with my kids. And even now, I'm not so sure I'm doing a great job. They're fast. But it's about making time for the things that are important to you. It's about making time for things that you can't just say, oh, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. This is my first Super Saturday event that I've ever attended, and I made it a point to be here. I wanted to be here. I wanted to talk to you guys. I wanted to meet everybody. I wanted to get out there. I just moved here. I lived in Reading, and I now live in Windsor. We just moved here on Thursday. So I want you to understand, like, if you want something, then you make time for it. I made time. I mean, I'm unpacking. My kids are pulling my hair out of my head. I'm going insane. I'm running about 4 hours of sleep right now. But I'm here. I'm doing it because it's something to me. It means something to me. I want to be here. I mean, I'm a Beachbody coach. I have a challenge group that's kicking off on Monday. The fact that I'm moving has no bearing on anything because you do things that are important to you. You make time for things that are important to you. The 21 Day Fix has containers, they're color-coded containers, portion control. My kids love the containers. I think it's great. They're, Mommy, what do you have in that container? Mommy, what are you doing? Mommy, can I have it? So now my children like to eat their fruit out of the purple container. My son eats his chocolate out of the orange container. But these are all healthy habits that you establish. I mean, so maybe I didn't have the healthiest habits, but now my children are at an impressionable age, and they see what I do. The little one, he watches me work out, and he's standing there in the background, and he's trying to push air. Just, you know, there's nothing in his hand, but he understands what I'm doing. They understand what I'm eating. They now actually have a desire to try vegetables. My son loves spinach in his eggs now, and this is all thanks to the lifestyle that I took on. It's something that I did for myself, and it wasn't selfish at all. Everything that I'm doing is showing my children how to lead this healthy lifestyle right off the bat. So I'm really feel very fortunate to be here and very lucky to be speaking to all of you. I really appreciate you listening to me and taking the time to be here. Thank you so much.
What a powerful story. It's amazing. We're lucky to have you here. Okay, so our next speaker is, her name is Stephanie. She is in my downline of coaches. Her personally sponsored coach is Shasta Dixon, wherever you are, Shasta, there you are. And Stephanie joined our team after actually already having results with some Beachbody programs, but she had no idea about coaching. So we finally got that hook in her and drug her in, and she's been blowing it up. She signed up in May of this year, and she has a really great story about a life-changing decision going from one career to Beachbody coach. Please welcome Stephanie.
All right, I told everybody I was going no script, no notes, I'm just letting it go from the heart. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Stephanie. Shasta is my coach. I used to own a children's store here locally in Santa Rosa called Dress Me Up. As much as I loved the store and committed my entire life to that store, including bringing my 2-year-old at the time when I opened in 2012 with me every single place I went, just like Amy said. Ava will be 5, or she just turned 5 in December, and I never spent a day without her. Ever. Don't ever play around with it. So when I opened up the children's store, I knew it was something like, at least if we decided to take vacations or whatever, I could do it still on my own time. But I realized that it took a huge toll on my family, because I would bring work home and I would never leave stuff places. I would let people text me orders at 2 o'clock in the morning wanting a freaking tutu. And I just let it take over. I let photographers decide to run my life, basically, and do whatever it was that they wanted. And in 2012, before I opened the shop, I had used P90X and saw amazing results after 6 weeks and quit, because I had the results I wanted. So I don't need to stick with this. I figured it out. Yeah, right. Come 2013, I tried picking back up again and it didn't work. 2014 came around and I was like, all right, my relationship's going to hell of 10 years. And my child is slowly getting to the age where she's realizing that she can fight me on food and not wanting to do certain things and not making the time for myself instead of just giving me to I realized that I needed to ground myself. And in February 2014, I attempted P90X3 and failed. Not that the program was too hard, but that I just didn't stick with it. I wasn't consistent. So I kept trying, and I've always shared stuff like this on Facebook. So Shasta one day had finally sent me a message like, hey, do you realize that there's coaching opportunity with Beachbody and that you could be taking this a little bit further? And I questioned her. No, I don't really want anything to do with that. I have my store, I'm set in what I'm doing. You're crazy. And then I decided to commit to P90X3. Okay, this has to happen. So from February to April in 2014, I just kept falling off. In April, I decided this is it, I'm doing this. I didn't really see the same results as I did in the P90X. So Shasta happened to contact me in regards to Shakeology and adding it into my plan and what I was doing. And I have an eating disorder that's never been diagnosed. But if you look at our lifestyle, especially busy moms, I can probably say that most of us have an eating disorder. We all just go. You eat the crumbs off your kids' plates, you eat snacks in between because you're always on the go. And I would tell people, I'm healthy, I don't need any shake. No, that's stupid. Brought it to my boyfriend, who was like, no, that's a gimmick. Do not do Shakeology. Okay, well, he's not going to help me out. What do I do? And he's definitely not fully on board with all of this yet. He's slowly coming back around. He was a track runner and very fit his whole life, so I know it'll eventually happen. I just let it go. So I contacted Shasta about Shakeology. I'm like, all right, tell me more. So she met me and gave me a sample, and I tried it one day with my P90X3 workout and felt like I was on cloud 9. I can't even explain it. It's like, holy cow, I pumped through that workout like no problem. And not that you can really see results from Shakeology in one day and one time, but I felt better, I really did. I felt like I pushed myself harder in that workout. Whether that was something mental from drinking the shake and then doing my workouts, I don't know, but I did it. So then I looked at my better half like, hey, that shake stuff really works. Can I order it? No. Okay, well, better sell some tutus so I can order it. So I did, really. I really went out and busted my ass in the store and made money so that I could buy a 21-day fix challenge pack. At the time, I told Shasta she was crazy. I didn't need the 21-day fix. I know how to eat. I'm healthy. I don't need these things. You're insane. And so she had Melissa and Mindy chiming in with me because I was like, no, I don't know. You guys are crazy. I don't need all that stuff. But I did. I went with it. I finished P90X3 before I would commit to the 21-day fix program, and then lovely Mindy was doing the test group for PIO, and I watched that and then just started like chiming into everything and realizing what was going on. So when I originally bought my 21-day fix challenge pack, I signed as a coach at that time. One, for the discount, because Joey sure as hell was not going to help me pay for these products because they were a gimmick. And after that, I literally just put the opportunity in front of every single person with how you could earn free product, not really for free, but earn product by just teaching others what you're doing. And it took me only a few months of doing it to realize, why do I still have this shop open? What am I doing? Even though I love what I'm doing and I can make money doing this, is it really getting me anywhere in life? Is it benefiting my family at all? No. So we went on vacation to Disneyland in August, and I was taking Shawnee Johnson's 30-day, it's like her some free 30-day seminar that you can do. I can't remember the exact name of it because I've done so many now. But it was one certain video that I listened to where she makes you like put stuff in boxes and figure out your life, what it is that you really want in life. And I sat back and realized, holy shit, I can't believe I opened a children's store and never knew about this coaching opportunity. So without even telling Shasta, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even announce publicly that I closed my store. I still haven't. It was hard because it was heartbreaking. I loved what I did. But Beachbody is where my heart is. Telling people to live a healthy lifestyle and teaching so many girlfriends that came out to tell me that they had that eating disorder that I swear most of us moms have, is what really got me going. And so because of my team and the women that I started building underneath me, not really knowing that I was building a team and what I was totally doing, I realized, holy cow, there's so much opportunity out there, and there's so many eating disorders regardless of obesity or being that skinny person. There's so much in between of what we all do wrong. And so just trying to teach people that was when I realized, like, oh, this is my calling. I'm not meant to be making tutus forever. I'm meant to sit down and teach people about health and fitness. Yes, I've been someone who's liked fitness my whole life. Shasta and I know each other from cheerleading. So that part to me was nothing. It was the eating. And like I said to all of you, I didn't eat. I haven't my whole entire life. I hate breakfast. Absolutely hate it. I love the taste of it. I can eat it for lunch and dinner, but not for breakfast. So Shakeology has completely transformed my life. I eat so much food now, it's ridiculous. To the point where, like, when I got the 21-day fix, I'm like, this isn't gonna be enough food. These little tiny containers, like a salad and this, are you kidding me? I eat a whole plate. So it was pretty eye-opening to do the 21-day fix. As much as I felt that I didn't need help with my eating, it completely transformed my life. So I closed the doors to dress me up on October 31st. Again, with no public notice, just closed the doors and walked away.
Okay, our next speaker, her name is Dina. I met her, I think we just met at our meeting that we had when we were designing the team to make plans for the Super Saturday, right? That's when we met? Okay, so, and she's got a great story. You signed up as a coach in September of 2014. Did you do products before that? No, okay. So that's not very long ago. That's a really short time. Dina has a great health transformation, and I'm sure probably everyone in this room knows somebody who suffers from ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease or anything like that. So she's going to tell us about that. So welcome, Dina.
Wow, I didn't know all these people were here. So I'm Dina, and just recently to Beachbody, and when I was at the meeting, I was asked if I would speak, and eek was my first reaction. So here I am, sharing my story. So thanks for listening. I suffered most of my life with digestive problems my entire life. So I had a great life, but my parents were always like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" So when I hit my teens, about 13 years old, I hit a downspin pretty hard. So I was in and out of doctor's appointments, testings, blood tests, just everything. And I was finally diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. So great, what does that mean? You're 13 years old. Okay, that's autoimmune disease. So I really didn't know how to change my life, how to change my eating. Just until I was doing this recently, I would go days without food, days without drinking anything, because that's when I felt the best. And I have been doing that, unfortunately, just up until this last September. So it was constant struggle of eating. I felt perfect when my system was completely empty, nothing in my body, and that's not the way to live. Super unhealthy. I had lots of side effects and problems from that up until recently. And when I was turned about 20 years old, I dropped down to about 90 pounds, completely anemic, bleeding from my ulcerative colitis. I was a mess. And the doctors had told me, here's an ultimatum, fix your life, or here's your admit date to the hospital. Figure it out, what are you doing? So, 21 years old, you have got everything together. Well, I had to choke everything down, ask my family for help. I was in a toxic marriage. So I reinvented my whole life, basically. And started helping myself try to learn a little bit more, and that lasted off and on of having ups and downs and flare-ups through my 30s. And during that time, I had met, the man of my dreams. So he worked for the family business, and we've been together for 24 years. Completely understanding man. Never sick a day in his life, but he's really supportive of what I've been going through and has helped me a lot through all of this. And one day we decided to move. So we moved to Sonoma County and left the family business. So that was another turn of stress in your life, parents not understanding. So I went through a lot during that time of just trying to figure out my life, leaving work, leaving everything I knew. And I was here for about a year, and I had a phone call that December 21st of 2000 that my parents had passed away. So it was a detrimental phone call. My dad took my mom's life and took his own. So just when you kind of get stuff going right, it's like, whoa, completely sad, heartbroken I couldn't have been there for them, heartbroken I moved, going back and changing all that. So to say it didn't affect me at all would be a complete lie. So that's something I kind of, I just miss him every day. But I learned, didn't take till like my 40s, so another 10 years that I went through ups and downs and flare-ups and being completely sick and tests after tests again, medications. That's all they want to fix you by. And when I got into my 40s, I noticed I had a list of side effects from medications. You watch the commercials, here's this medication, it's fantastic, it'll fix your problem. Now you have 32 side effects. So I was like, this can't be it. This isn't my life. And that time, 46 years old, this can't be me. This isn't me. And I needed to do something significant. I went to the doctor in August, and I was being checked for a brain tumor, a stroke, blood tests, because I had pain in my chest that went up into my neck for a month, and it was so extreme, scary. Calling my husband from the room, getting a brain scan, thought he went in there for inflammation. Yeah, so everything always comes back, high inflammations, and more appointments, more referrals, more medications, and I thought, no, I'm putting my foot down. You guys aren't giving me any more medicine. I'm not going to a cardiologist for a heart attack. It's inflammation. It's from autoimmune disease. Have you heard of it? So I had to call them. I'm supposed to go back in to talk to them and tell them everything I've been doing. But September, I decided to learn about clean eating. I ate healthy, but not the right foods together. And some of the stuff not the right food at all. So I was doing that, and I met Karen Kruger, saved my life. So she was doing a PIO class in Cloverdale, and she was adamant and happy and bouncing around and told me about her problems. And try Shakeology. What the heck is that? It's a shake. It's going to make you great. No, it's not. I don't even like shake. So we went back and forth with this thing and do 21-day fix. Oh my gosh, I just want PIO. And so my husband was out of town. I remember calling him, hey, can I spend $140 on this shake and a workout program, and it's going to make me super healthy? So he's well, try something. He's like, oh my gosh, so let me know how it goes. I'm like, okay. So I called up Karen, I'm in. Do you want to be a coach? Sure. I have no idea what that meant. Day to day. So I did it, and I'll tell you what. The first day that I joined Shakeology, it completely changed my life. I felt fantastic that day. I was never eating in the morning, gosh, ever. And I would be sick the entire day if I ate in the morning. It would just trigger everything. So to be able to wake up at 8 a.m. and drink a big honkin' shake, I mean, that was huge. And so much energy, and I just felt great. And I'm like, I'm going to do this for a month. So I did the whole entire month. I was on auto ship. I just keep getting it. And I'll tell you what, it's put my ulcerative colitis for the first time in my life, complete remission. I'm medication-free since December 8th. I'm just, the first time in my life, my body's absorbing nutrients, foods, minerals. I'm thriving. It's never functioned this way before. I told Jim, well, I'm a normal person. I've never been normal. And and not to wake up every day and take medication all through your day. I'm like, that's saving money. Pharmaceuticals, huge. So, yeah, so I'm just going to continue on this way, and I know my parents are proud. I fixed my problem, and I'm going to keep going with what I'm doing because it's working. And the benefit I have now is to share my story with people and help them, and that's what I'm living off of now. I mean, to be able to help someone else change their life or see their excitement when they feel better, that's what it's all about for me now.
I know a lot of people who still suffer from one of those diseases, and they're very resistant to any kind of help outside of medication from doctors. So hopefully your story will really start to get out there and help a lot of people. All right, so our last speaker, let me get my note list here because this is very important. So we're super lucky here in Sonoma County because we have Kevin and Milan Jensen locally to us. Raise your hand if you know who they are. Okay, so Milan was the very first enrolled Beachbody coach in the Team Beachbody organization. They were recruited by corporate to help them start. So I'm going to give you a little history on Kevin, and he's going to come up and tell us some really cool stuff. So get out your camera. He's been in network marketing for 20 years. It's very impressive. He's trained 25 million people in 28 different countries on the basis of how to build successful business businesses. How amazing is that? He's traveled all over the world and trained people in building their network marketing. So he was contacted by Beachbody to help launch the coaching network. He worked for 2 years at corporate, director of sales and training. And then him and Milan, then Milan was enrolled as the first coach, and they did a lot of test stuff, and then they started that way. I think there's 7 original founders, right? 7 or 11? Didn't they do?
Yeah, there's about 42 that would be considered founders.
Okay.
There are 7 keys.
Right, okay. So currently they are members of the $1 Million Club, SC All-Star Legends, 9-Star Diamond, and they have over 52,000 coaches in their organization, right? All right. Kevin Jensen.
Hi guys. Let me tell you what this is all about. What's your lady's name again? Dina. Karen Kruger, you saved my life. That's what coaching's all about. Now I have to tell you, in January of 06, we got a phone call. We just retired from another company on the corporate side. Milan and I both have a background in network marketing on the corporate side. And we've both been working for the same company. We retired and moved to Sonoma County, and we'd only been here like 6 weeks. We got a phone call from a gentleman that said, hey, I used to work with him in this other company. We're starting a business. We want you to come and help us deal with this thing because it's going to be a lot of fun. I said, what is it? He said, it's called Beachbody. I said, no, thank you. The name turned me off instantly because while I like being healthy, being ripped is not one of my goals. Now, I don't take that away from anybody who loves that because that's totally you, and if you want to be that, awesome. But the name totally turned me off, right? 2 months later, I'm serious about this, you got to come and take a look at it. No, thank you. 2 months later, September 06, the gentleman that Carl hired to start the coaching network called Milan and I and said, look, here's the deal. We know you're not interested in long-term stuff, but we're going to launch this thing in 60 days, and we're nowhere near ready. We need your help. So come to LA, spend a day with us, offer some advice, be a consultant for 60 days, and then go on your merry way. We're like, cool, we can do that. Free trip to LA, we have a daughter down there, they're going to pay all of our expenses, hang out for the weekend, why not? So we drove from our home then in Sebastopol down to LA. We walked into this, we were then on Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills. We walked into the office. They set us down in this little 10 by 15 room they called the fishbowl because 3 of the walls were glass. And we met with the first 3 employees of what was then called $1 Million Body. That's what the network was called in the beginning, was $1 Million Body, because they had this game where you could win money for losing weight. And in walks this dude. Hi, I'm Carl, nice to meet you. Thanks so much for coming down and spending a little time with us. We really need your help. But let me tell you why we started this program. And basically, when Dina said, Karen Kruger, you saved my life, that's the very feeling I felt when Carl described why he wanted to start a coach network. And just really quick, I'll tell you, Carl said, if people buy my program and it sits on the shelf, but they go off and eat their pizza and their cheeseburgers and banana pies and all that kind of stuff, don't buy my program. I don't want you to waste your money if you're not going to use it. So let me tell you something, Kevin. 3 out of 10 people who buy my program, and he's that passionate about it, open the box and get measurable results. Another 3 or 4 people open the box, or Stephanie, and start but don't finish. And then there's the balance of that, those 3 or 4 people, whatever that number is, that buy the box and they never open it. So we went to the 2 or 3 people that get measurable results. And we said, what was the difference? Beachbody has this online club, or online message boards back in the day before Facebook and all that kind of stuff. They had these online message boards, and the 2 or 3 people that got measurable results said, it's simple. We buddied up with somebody in the message boards who held us accountable to our program, and we didn't want to work out, they made us work out. When we wanted to eat a pizza, we ate a salad, and all that kind of stuff. And Carl's like, so if we can just get more of our customers connected with somebody who holds them accountable, we're going to have more people getting measurable results. Woo-hoo! And the network started. Now, why did they choose network marketing? Because they also discovered that people do crazy things when they can make money helping other people get fit. Do you feel bad that Karen Kruger makes money because you're her customer and now her coach? Anybody in here feel bad that your upline coach makes some money because you go out and help people get fit?
No.
Because if you weren't helping them and they signed up for the gym, guess what? Gym's going to get the money. And the difference is, they never show up to the gym. At least with our program, if you don't work out, somebody's probably going to call you and say, what's up? Right? And if you want to work out but you're too darn tired because it's awfully cold outside, you can lay in your bed and say, talk me out of this warm bed so I can go do fix. I love fix. It's such a awesome program. I don't want to kick your butt. We have so many good ones. I just like fix because it's so short. Right? Nowadays, I introduce people to 3-day refresh and immediately toss them into fix. That's because why? I can tell somebody, trust me for 30 days, and if you don't like the results, you probably give your money back. Right? And if somebody loses 8 pounds their first round in the fix, where is a nice job, girl, right? They're not going anywhere. They might play Stephanie and not play with it for a while, but they eventually come back to it because they know who it is. That's what we do as coaches, guys. That's what we do as coaches. And as a result of that, here's the crazy thing. When I walked into Beachbody Corporate in September of 2006, they were projecting they're going to finish the year $150 million on the direct response part of the business. That's the infomercials and all that kind of stuff. Projected $150 million. They started the Coach Network because of 2 things. Number 1, Carl knew that eventually infomercials were not going to attract as many people. Why? Because fewer people were watching TV. Why? Because fewer people are watching everything on their iPad or their computer or their cell phone. Right? He knew that. Smart guy. This guy is a brilliant marketing man. He knew that that was going to fade out. So what do we need to do? Right? We need to figure out other ways of getting our product out there. We can toss it on the shelf, and they are in a few retail outlets due to some contracts or agreements that they have. But when that pile sits on the shelf, people look at it and go, what's pile? But if the neighbor says, hey, come over, we're doing pile, we're like, what's that? We'll just bring some water and a mat and a towel and dress however you want to dress. And they have a blast. And, oh, that's pile. Right? So now instead of 1 out of every 40 people who watch an infomercial buy the product, Guess how many more people who watch an infomercial buy a product? How many of you coaches who have shared a product with somebody said, oh, I saw that, seen it on TV. They haven't purchased it yet, have they? No, but they purchased it when you introduced it to them. Why? Because they know you, they trust you, and so they're like, hey, if this doesn't work, I know where they live. That's why the Coach Network exists. So that more people will trust the process of stepping into the idea of pushing play. And why? Because Karen Kruger, you saved my life. And you know how many times that it might not be the same person speaking it, the same name, but it's the same message. And every one of us carry that. I'm going to call it responsibility, because if you, whether you know it or not, what's coaching? Sure, right? Whether you know it or not, as soon as the ink dries on your application, you now have a responsibility. Because you've stepped up, raised your hand and said, I'm going to do this. Now, many of us do it for us first, right? We're looking there and say, I'm not the best coach. I'll tell you, Kevin Jensen would be 25 pounds heavier than he is right now if he wasn't a Beachbody coach. Because he knew they had to come this darn Super Saturday. And so he got his butt out of bed on some of those mornings when it was cold in Sonoma County because he didn't want to be 20 pounds heavier, right? Now in my case, I gained 8 pounds over the holidays, so what did I do?
21-day fix.
3-day refresh, and I'm actually now 5 days into 21-day reset. So if I don't work out today, it's because Carl's wife would beat me up if I worked out that hard while I'm on the reset. Right? But you just wasted your whole day. So there's some days when you don't work out. But guys, love what you do. Now if you're here today and you are a guest looking at this crazy group of people dressed up like they're lost in space, or gone back a few years, have fun with what you do, because I got to tell you, imagine, and here's the other piece that I just want to say, who do you know? And I know this is happening, guys. I know this happened when we heard from Amy or Stephanie or Dina. When we heard their story, I guarantee you that someone's name you know, and it might have been your own, popped into your head. Oh, so-and-so needed to hear that. Guess what? If this day ends, and you've not picked up the phone and called that person's name who popped into your head and said, oh my gosh, I was at a meeting this morning, and I heard this lady's story, and I thought of you, and if I go the day without calling you, this red-headed dude's going to hunt me down. No, seriously, guys. That's really what it is to be a coach. Start your own story, tell that story, and invite other people to enjoy the same type of result. And you don't have to finish a program to tell your story. Shucks, with 3-day refresh, you can tell the story in 3 days now. With 21-day fix, you can tell a story in 21 days. With P90X, you can still tell a story in 7 days. Just give yourself 7 days worth of workouts, follow the meal plan, and I guarantee you, you'll be telling the story. You don't have to say I lost 45 pounds in 90 days. Here's the thing that frustrates me more than anything. Let me finish a whole program before I start telling my friends about it. Why? You just wasted 90 days. Your friends could have been traveling the journey with you. Because I guarantee you, if you tell somebody, I lost 5 pounds in 7 days doing this workout where I just put this little DVD in my player, I almost revealed the secret. You're going to hear something on this video that's going to blow your mind. People will try it. How many people do you know that would entertain the idea of losing 5 pounds in a week?
Everyone.
They don't need to, you don't need to tell them I lost 40 pounds in 90 days or 8 pounds in 21, right? So don't be afraid of sharing. And when the sharing happens, amazing things happen, guys. If we had not met Carl Dyker, we probably would have said no. Let me just finish the story and I'll shut up. When we were pricked in our heart by Carl's story, we went from, oh, we can consult this thing, to, hey, what do we need to do to really get involved in this thing? And they said, oh, we're so glad you said that. And here's what happened. Kevin, we need somebody to help us build the sales and training program on the corporate side. Milan, we know you'll never work for corporate again because you told us that before. Because the gentleman who invited us knew Milan, and she's like, I'm never going to work for another man again. And she hasn't in 14 years. But, so Milan, what we want you to do, because our little group of 45 people that are coming to take a look at this program for the very first time are customers who got results. They want a trip to Hawaii. We're inviting them to come and take a look at this thing, and we're not sure how many of them you'll understand how to build home-based business. Milan, you and Kevin have been teaching people now for a lot of years. We want you to mentor them, because some of them that we've been talking to about network marketing, like, don't ruin the community. Not network marketing, don't ruin the community. Now those same people met one like, oh cool, if we're going to do it like that, let's go after it. And those same people today are making buku bucks. And I'm going to talk about it from the standpoint of don't be afraid of making money, and don't be afraid of telling people that you're making money. Why? Because I love what Amy Silverman said on The Surge. How many of you listen to The Surge? Amy Silverman said, every success club point equals a life. So when you see money showing up in your bank account, guys, it is a direct reflection of someone's life being changed. So if that number gets bigger, 52,000 in our case, coaches in our download, we don't even know most of them. We were blessed to be able to become a part of this thing when Carl said, come and help us do this. And after 2 years on the corporate side of things, one day I didn't even pay much attention to the fact that Carl was paying me well. And then I saw a check, because something happened in the direct deposit thing, and so Beachbody sent my wife, Milan, her network check. It was 3 times what I was making on a monthly basis. So I'm thinking, dude, why are you living in LA? Because we moved to LA to be closer to the company. Why are you living in LA when you love Sonoma County? You've got a house up there you're renting out, and your wife's making 3 times more money than you are? So I walked into Carl's office and says, Carl, I love you, man, but guess what? I'm going to go work for Milan. And he's like, I was wondering how long it was going to take. So 2 months later, September of 2008, we loaded up our stuff and moved back here to Sonoma County. Here we are today, guys. We got 30-something people in this room. In April, here's my challenge to you. Every person in this room knows someone whose life could be impacted by this Beachbody opportunity as a customer coach. I challenge everyone in this room to have at least one person with them in April. That's going to put 70+ people in this room. How many want to commit to that? Okay? And have fun doing it. Have fun doing it. It doesn't have to be stressful, pressured, whatever. You have a storyteller. What do? Oh, you know how people struggle to lose weight and they're stressed out about it and it's causing all kinds of health issues? I just help them find a simple way to that problem, solution to that problem. Oh really, what do? Now here's the cool thing. Have you ever seen a commercial like P90X on TV or 21 Day Fix? Yeah, I've seen them all the time. That's us. And as soon as you connect yourself to that infomercial, instant credibility. $100 billion a year worth of spending to create instant credibility. So all you got to do is mention the name and somebody says, oh yeah, I know that. I can talk all day, I'll shut up because it's a real cool video you gotta watch. But love what we do, guys. There's nothing like it out there. And if Karen Kruger had not met Dean, where would she be today? Right? If Amy had not found Letty, where would she be now? Who do you have in your life that needs what you have that you haven't asked? Ultimately, that's the question. The cool thing with social media today is you can get your story out there and thousands of people are starting to be inspired by it. So let's just have an awesome best ever 2015. And oh, by the way, Beachbody finished 2014 over $1 billion in gross revenue. 8 years ago, 150 million. 8 years later, $1 billion in gross revenue in the US and Canada only. What happens when our network opportunity expands globally? Crazy. And I know there are people that want these programs, because I did a little booth at a personal trainer convention. I had people from Kuwait, from Argentina, from Egypt, from Germany, all coming up and asking if they could buy P90X from us, because they had heard about it through military people or whoever, and they wanted the program, and they couldn't get it. Can they please buy it from us? The potential of this Beachbody opportunity to change lives and make a difference in your life financially, you get to write the check, guys, whatever you want it to be. Okay? Thanks so much. Appreciate you.
Great information. So who's got room left up here for the video? Who's ready to take some notes? Who's excited? There's some great stuff in there. I only watched the first 15 minutes of it, and then I shut it off because I was like, oh my God, I don't want to spoil it. So we'll do the video, and then after that we have some drawings.